Welcome back. We're getting a lot of great info today, and we are talking to an expert, Dr. Liz Joy from the Salt Lake Clinic Live Well Center. We're talking about sitting as the new smoking.
Yes.
This is not good news.
No, it's not. In fact, don't you think we should stand for just a minute?
Let's do it. Yes. Okay. All right. So prolonged sitting is now recognized as a risk. Now, this 50 years ago would have been absolutely unheard of, but that's what we've turned into, isn't it?
Well, you know, our culture has become increasingly sedentary. You know, we're more sedentary in our day-to-day lives because we have so much technology, you know, that has allowed us to sit more. I mean, when do we need to stand? We don't need to stand to answer the phone, right?
Yeah.
We don't need to stand to change the channel on the TV. You know, we can sit and do so much. So the more we sit, turns out the worse for our health.
Let me ask you this. Could we sit for the rest of this interview?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, sounds good.
I don't want to buck the system, but I just got in kind of an argument with my wife yesterday. She says, after I get home from the gym and working out, once I sit down, she goes, I don't move for the rest of the night. And I think that's pretty commonplace with a lot of families.
It's true. You know, the average American probably sits about 8 hours a day.
That is insane.
It is. It is. And so when you start to look at the adverse health effects of sitting, that's about the break point. You know, if you're sitting more than 8 hours a day, then you start to see more of a death rate. You know, you have a higher death rate.
Right. Now, I also don't want to say people are lazy, because there are a lot of people working really hard, and a lot of people sit for their jobs all day. So what should we do?
Well, there are all sorts of strategies to reduce your sitting time. You know, one is just to take walking breaks throughout the day.
You just did that yesterday. You said you were so tired.
That was this morning.
That you needed a break, so you just took a walk around the building.
Well, actually, I was about to fall asleep. I needed to get my blood pumping. All right, but you say 30 minutes a day, and this doesn't have to be 30 minutes at once, right?
No. Well, I really think that the new exercise prescription is being active and moving throughout the day, in addition to getting about 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise, so a brisk walk. But movement throughout the day is, if your job is predominantly sitting at a desk, get up every 20 to 30 minutes and just walk for 2 minutes. You don't have to walk fast. It can just be a very casual walk around your office for 2 minutes. And that's actually been shown to improve your physiology.
You know, last night the power went off at our house, and my kids just about freaked out because they didn't know what to do. And so we're like, well, what should we do? And my wife says, well, why don't we play some flashlight tag? And the kids were like, what? And you know what I mean? Because they get so ingrained that their playtime has to do with a laptop, a tablet, a cell phone, a TV, or what. But when it all went down, we played some good old-fashioned flashlight tag, and I think the kids had a blast.
Absolutely. You know, kids are made to move. You know, we need to get our kids moving as part of their unstructured time when they're not in school. But you know what? We need to get them moving at school, too. You know, and there's a big effort now to try and increase the quantity and the quality of physical education at school, but also to increase physical activity opportunities walking to school, walking home from school, and even in the classroom.
Yeah, and fewer of us really are letting our kids walk to and from school. I mean, we've become so paranoid, and I'll say careful, but I think it is a big issue. All right, so I'm reading this. It says 5.3 million deaths are associated with sitting, opposed to smoking 5.1.
Right.
That's pretty staggering.
Isn't it, though?
Imagine if you smoke and sit all the time.
Well, you're a goner.
You know, it turns out, though, this is a really interesting study that was published a couple years ago. It showed that even smokers who sit very little have about half the death rate of a non-smoker who sits a lot.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Right.
Wow. Okay, so we need to get up and move.
We do.
All right, so here's what you can do if you have any more questions. We have Intermountain Healthcare with us today, and they are taking calls. You can ask any question you like. The number's on your screen, 877-908-0680. Give us a call, and we have people taking calls till 6 o'clock. Dr. Joy, thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Very nice to meet you.
Appreciate it.
I'm just going to stand for the end of this.
All right, excellent.